What is going on, everyone? It's DC3 Johnson here with another video, guys. So as the title says and the description, in this video we're going to go ahead and cover my personal tips for starting a YouTube channel here now that I personally have completed about 200 videos since I first started, guys. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go right to it. So tip number one that I have for my subscribers and for the people is you don't want to sub for sub. Now, why is that? Well, because most of the times, when people start their YouTube channels, they kind of have that impression that, hey, the more subs I have, the better it's going to be, basically, right? Like, if I have 200 subscribers, then, that means my channel's growing and it's going to go bigger. And it's like, well, yes, in a sense, you do want to have subscribers. It does help you kind of keep track of, if you have 200 yesterday, but you got 220 today, then it shows that your channel is growing. The only thing is, subbing for subbing does not help. And the reason why is because YouTube, when it puts your content or when it promotes your content, it's not basing it off how many subscribers you have. It's basing it on how many of your subscribers are watching your videos and how many of them are clicking your videos. And so the problem with sub for sub is most of the time people just subscribe and they don't watch any of your stuff. They just kind of did it to kind of get it off their checklist. So that ends up hurting your video because then YouTube promotes the content to them and they don't watch it. So now your content gets impacted because of that. And so with that being said, that is my personal take. Number two, I would say you want to make a schedule. You want to make a schedule and you want to stick to it. So personally, when I first started YouTube, I started making UFC videos, and so I would promote it like every other day, and then when I started doing 2K, I kind of created a system where basically, I would do, if I on an example, like if I upload a UFC video on a Monday, then on a Wednesday, what I would do is I would put a 2K video on, and then basically after that on Friday I would put another UFC video, and so on and so forth. So that's definitely important, especially when you have a brand new channel, because when you have a new channel, your subscribers are still kind of getting used to seeing you all the time and watching your videos. So if they realize, okay, this specific channel uploads content Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm gonna come back on these days to check to see what they have, and so that helps your channel grow because they come back and watch your videos. And so number three, so you want to find a niche, and personally a niche that you personally feel comfortable with. So for me, when I first started, I was very shy. I personally was very kind of like self-conscious about putting my voice out there and all that. And so I was like, okay, I'm already nervous about this. I'm already kind of like, I don't know if I want to do it or not, but I do want to try. And so let me at least focus on something I feel comfortable with talking about, which is sports, which is if you see most of my content is mainly about sports. It's mainly focused on that topic because for me it's a very easy topic to talk about. Like, I can talk to anybody about sports because it's very easy. I watch it all the time. I'm a very big fan of it. And so it's an easy topic to kind of make a very good conversation. And especially if your YouTube channel is about doing gameplays and walkthroughs and or talking videos, you want to find something you can personally talk in front of a camera or on the mic with. Because if not, people are not going to watch your videos. And so with that being said, tip number four is collaborate. So you want to find people you can collaborate with. This is a little bit of a challenge, I will say, and I will agree, but there's a particular subscriber which I do want to give the shout out to, Mr. Call Me William. He actually has his content based on 2K stuff or sports related content, but he also does other content with his other buddies or collaborators. He collaborates on this podcast with several other people, and the good thing about that is that when you collaborate with somebody, it puts your channel on a new radar, because now the people watching their videos are watching you, or are watching you, and they're like, oh, you know what, I wonder who this person is, and then they become drawn to checking you out, and then that exposes your video content to a brand new audience. So that's the good thing about collaboration. It also helps you put more videos out there, so it only increases your chances of growing your channel. So with that being said, number 5, Keyword Explorer. Now, I will say the following. It does get a lot easier when you have a program such as TubeBuddy or vidIQ to do Keyword Explorer. But one tip I will give to people starting their channel, with zero, right? The good thing is there's a search function in YouTube that you basically type in the content. So right now, if we type in NBA 2K, and basically YouTube or YouTube or Google search will give you some sort of recommendations as to what you're trying to type in, and then you basically go off that. That's normally what I did when I first started. Is okay, it would say NBA 2K21 Devin Booker, or NBA 2K21 gameplay, or NBA 2K21 Phoenix, or something like that. I would basically type those tags in to my videos when I would upload them, because I didn't have, now I use TubeBuddy, but back then I didn't have anything that would weigh in like, oh, this keyword's stronger than this keyword. I just kind of based it off whatever Google search or YouTube search would tell me. So that is one personal recommendation. The reason why Keywords Explorer is important is because the more tags or the more specific your tags are, the more easier it will be for YouTube to understand what your video is about and promote it to the right people. Because at the end of the day, like I mentioned to you, one of the most important things to a channel is to have people watch your content, click your content, and watch your content. And so that's why YouTube tries to find people that are interested in those topics that you're talking about. So that way they can do that, and it helps your channel grow. And so with that, number 6, thumbnails. So thumbnails are very important, as you guys can imagine. I'm pretty sure we have all seen, channels with some very, very nice, thumbnails that, are really good and very eye-opening, eye-catching, that, can be very, very, like, it draws people to them. And so remember what I talked about. So click-through rate's important. And so a good thing to increase your click-through rate is by having some good thumbnails. Now, personally, what I used Share Factory when I first started on YouTube, because it's a great system. I actually used Share Factory to edit my content, because I would use my PS4 to record most of my gaming content, to be quite frank. And so to create thumbnails, I would use the Share Factory function for images. And so that's a very good start. And I would say, like, if you personally have a software that can do some sort of image design, do it. Or if not, just kind of download a free program that can help you. And then once you start getting comfortable, and once your YouTube channel starts growing, look into better options to improve those thumbnails. So for me right now, I'm looking into like Photoshop, or any sort of program that has that quality that can make my image stand out more. So again, that helps your click-through rate. So number 7, and this is more of a personal recommendation. I don't want people to think that I'm bashing this or anything, but I would personally recommend to avoid ads. And so, because personally I used Google ads and YouTube ads when I first started on YouTube, probably after I hit like 40 to 45 subscribers. So to try to help me grow my channel even faster. That was kind of my intention about why I did it. And so while it did help me in the beginning, I will say YouTube ads and Google ads definitely helped me right in the beginning. But the problem was, and this is what I didn't notice until after I did maybe about 50 videos, was that the way YouTube and Google ads promote your channel is they put it on a commercial in between other YouTubers, like other YouTube people watching other YouTube content. And so the problem is, and I'm pretty sure we're all victim of it, or we've all done it before, is that we're watching a video and we see an ad, and we're literally waiting for that 5-10 second rule to kind of pop up so we can hit skip. And so the problem with that was YouTube on my end was getting the impression that people were watching my content and not liking it. And so that led to the problem where my click-through rate was low and also my average view time was low. So then YouTube stopped promoting my channel or started promoting my videos, which is how I realized that the ads were the ones impacting me. So that is something I will say. It's a double-edged sword. It can help you, but at the same time, keep that in mind. The more you promote it in that direction, the more likely, your views, your average view time will go down, which will significantly hurt your channel if you're still on the newer side. And so my final tip, guys, number 8, is you don't want to get discouraged. Definitely there's going to be a lot of setbacks to starting a YouTube channel. You're starting right from the beginning. You're starting at zero. Nobody knows who you are. And so some videos will be easier than others. Some videos you will have some good views and be like, wow, I'm doing great. There'll be other videos where you're like, maybe have like 1 or 2 views and you're like, oh, is my content not great? And I would tell people, don't get discouraged. Don't think that your content's not great. Think of ways to improve. Think of what you think you can do to make it a little better, but don't ever think that your content's not good. Definitely, there's always somebody interested in watching your stuff. Always somebody. There'll always be somebody. So don't get discouraged. Keep pushing, but keep a very disciplined mind, and definitely that will help you get to the point where you are, where I am now, is in a sense, and maybe even further than that. Maybe even further than that, much more successful. So don't get discouraged, guys. Those are my 8 tips for starting a YouTube channel here in 2021. If you like what you saw, feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed my other content. Stay tuned for the next one, guys. And if you have any sort of comments, any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment down below, guys. Take care, guys, and stay safe out there.